having that alert. Judy's asking, is it advisable to have an LLC? What do you say about liability? Should we avoid certain types of products?
So in terms of, well, first off, LLC stands for Limited Liability Company. And what that is a legal entity that you can form in any of the 50 US states. And what it does is it allows you to separate your personal liability and your company's liability. So let me explain that a little bit. So when you were first starting off selling on Amazon and we're a new seller, we're not going to really go through all the trouble and time and cost of forming an LLC. We're just going to basically start selling under our own name. So we are a sole proprietor. What that means is that you're selling under your name, your social security number, not to say that, buyers can see your SSN, but Amazon will use your SSN as the selling account entity. And let's just say a buyer buys one of your products, something happens, God forbid, and then they end up trying to sue the seller, which in this case is you. So now the court, let's say, rules in their favor, and then they can come after your personal assets. This is not to scare anybody. This is just a scenario. So what we want to do is protect ourselves by forming an LLC. So once you've determined that your Amazon business is something that you want to get serious about, you should go ahead and start to go into the process of forming that LLC. And you can register LLCs by going to any of the state websites. We're here in Maryland. So I just went to the Maryland state website. I looked up how to register an LLC. I filled out some information. I paid a registration fee, and in about a week or so, my LLC was formed. And now I can go ahead and take that LLC, and I can go ahead and go to the IRS's website, and I can file for what's called a EIN number, which stands for Employer Identification Number, or also known as a TIN, Tax Identification Number. So what this is essentially a social security number for your LLC. So now you have an LLC, which is a legal entity. You have its own EIN number. You want to update all that inside Amazon Seller Central. So now let's go back to the example I used. That buyer decides to sue you. The judge rules in favor of the buyer. They can only go after the business's asset because that is who sold this product to that buyer. Your personal assets are off the table because that's the liability. That's the L in LLC, liability protection, right? So definitely take care of that. You can also form the LLC using LegalZoom. I wouldn't suggest it just because it costs extra money. LegalZoom is a for-profit website, so they're going to charge you a fee for something that you could easily do without paying any of those fees. So definitely look into that. So hopefully that answers your question, Judy. So Judy's other question is, should we avoid certain types of products? I don't know. Like, I guess in terms of liability, I mean, Amazon does a pretty good job of protecting buyers, right? So I don't think you can sell like firearms, for example, right? I mean, you can sell knives and stuff like that, but it's no different than somebody buying into Target, buying a knife, getting cut, and then trying to sue Target. That just wouldn't really fly, So, again, we're no legal experts, but I wouldn't really limit yourself to anything that is legal to sell on Amazon. And of course, Amazon polices their listings regularly. So anything that you find on Amazon is probably legal to sell. And I wouldn't be too concerned about liability. But again, definitely check with a legal expert if you really want to find the legal answer for that.